Bob's envious. He is.
You're like a young Elvis Presley in this getup and those blue suede shoes. I don't know if they're suede, but they're close.
I might be more like a young Buddy Greco, but okay. That's for really aged people.
Yeah, that one's over.
Hell would freeze over before Villanova would beat this team, and no, it didn't. But is anything to be gained? What can be gained, Bob? What can be gained?
James Franklin is not happy with his football team. It was pretty clear in his post-game presser, and I genuinely believed him. He kept referencing the fact it's going to be a tough Sunday. It's going to be a hard week on the practice field. All of it built around the fact that Penn State got pushed around at the line of scrimmage when they tried to run the ball by an FCS team. Like, there's no denying it. Yeah, they made a ton of plays with their athletes in the perimeter, but they couldn't line up and run the ball.
I can't take any of it seriously, really. I can't take any of this seriously, and he doesn't either. I mean, that's what he's not saying, is that he doesn't take this seriously. He's going to prep him for Indiana because Indiana's a seriously physical team.
Yeah.
And he's probably worried about the running game, but you can't tell anything from Villanova. You could tell something from Auburn last week, and I think everyone deserves a siesta in between an Auburn and Indiana. So.
What was the phrase you used that got him going a little bit?
I don't know. It was load management before.
Mental health day?
Mental health day,
yeah. He didn't like that. He did not like that. Flat out didn't like it. But
he got over it.
He did get over it.
Yeah.
But he kept referencing unhappy people were getting patted on the back. Wednesday's practice, all those code for.
Yeah, he's got to say all that stuff.
They were flat.
Of course they're flat. Yeah. They're playing an FCS team, you know. I just don't take any of it seriously. So, do you take anything from how bad the running game was looking forward? You know what they did against Auburn and Wisconsin. I mean, isn't that how you gauge it?
Yeah, well, they did struggle at times to run the ball at Wisconsin.
They did.
And against Auburn. Yes. Two very good defenses. Noah Kane had one carry today. He was a little dinged up, James said, and I think Kevon Lee had a handful. So it was a lot of John Lovett and Sean Clifford when he tried to run, as well as he threw the ball. He didn't look very smart, I think, in some of the decisions he made trying to run the ball. But man, when they get those playmakers in space against a team that can't really cover elite receivers, and they try and play man-to-man on Jahan Dotson on the first play of the game.
I wouldn't say Parker Washington's a burner by high-level FBS standards, but he ran through the entire secondary on that 52-yard touchdown.
He did.
And he almost did it again on the 67-yarder.
He did.
But only got to the 9. It's so obvious in these games, the difference between FBS and FCS. In that all you have to do is get the ball to these guys with those defenders,
right, and
they can score touchdowns, which is basically what they did. That's how they scored.
Yeah, and I think that they do have Indiana next week, this Saturday at Beaver Stadium, 7:30. I think James will have the team's full attention, but I'm just very curious what happens when this team has to run the ball at Kinnick Stadium in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, that's the acid test. That's what we're
we'll
talking
see.
about.
It did look to me, even though it was not, they didn't have their A game today and they were flat. It did look to me like they should have been able to get a little more movement at the line of scrimmage. He did mention he wasn't real thrilled with the tight ends blocking in the run game. I think there was some leakage on the perimeter that led to a lot of
leakage. We've got leakage. We can't have leakage.
I will not expound on leakage.
Bro, I just got 20
But, anyway, that's enough of this. Really, I mean, anything else you want to add?
There's nothing. This might be our shortest video. Kudos.
I mean, what are you going to? It's an exhibition. It's an exhibition game. So that's it, and now the real season begins. We already had one of the 9 league games under the belt, and now it's serious. Indiana's a physical team. They're going to have to run the ball against Indiana too, and we'll see what happens. Then, from Beaver Stadium, adios.